I don't usually do like these kind of tribute videos and stuff. I feel like everyone kind of does that better than me, so I just leave that to others usually. But at the same time, this year there's been three really huge losses in just like what I personally listen to, and from bands that mean a lot to me. So I don't know. I felt like I needed to acknowledge that in some way, and I'd been kind of toying with the idea of doing some videos that were just more like unscripted kind of rants here and there about whatever topic that I felt like talking about. So I was kind of do that a little bit, just like talk about each one of these guys and kind of what they meant to me and how I kind of got into their stuff, and I don't know, just like my feelings on losing them and everything. So I guess I'll go chronologically. First, there was Brian Wilson, and the Beach Boys are my favorite band, probably tied with the Byrds, but I usually say the Beach Boys if people ask me what my favorite band is. And I got into them a little bit later than I did with some of these other groups. It wasn't really until like 2009 when I was starting college that I got really into the Beach Boys. But yeah, to me, Brian was probably like if people ask just my favorite musician overall. A lot of times I would say Brian Wilson. So that was difficult when he died, but I was also kind of expecting that one a little bit more, or at least like a little bit less surprised than with some of these others. I knew he had dementia and wasn't doing well, and his wife had died a few years before him, and I kind of just like had a feeling after she went that like, oh, I don't know if Brian's going to be around much longer. So I guess when that happened, I was getting ready to go to work, and I got a text from a friend, and he's like, Brian Wilson died, and I was upset, but not surprised, and basically my reaction was just to swap out whatever I was going to listen to on my way to work with Wild Honey, and just kind of went right into the listening to the music kind of part of the grieving. So yeah, that one was hard, but didn't really hit me the way I thought it would. But I think that's just because I was more expecting it. But still, just a terrible loss. Then the next was Ozzy, and I got into Black Sabbath pretty young. I haven't done a review of them yet on the channel because I really haven't got through all the different eras of Sabbath yet. But I got a greatest hits album of them pretty early on, of the Ozzy years, and listened to it a ton in high school. Pretty much had it memorized, but I didn't get a lot of their other albums for a long time because really just around here in the stores that I went to and things like that, I didn't really see their albums. It was all greatest hits. Never really, I don't know, I can't remember finding one of their actual studio albums until just much later, like when I was out of college. So I just didn't get their stuff because I didn't see it. But Ozzy was just always, Ozzy was huge. He was around everywhere. When I was in high school, everybody knew Ozzy, talked about Ozzy. As far as his solo stuff goes, I have Blizzard of Oz and Diary of Madman. Love those two albums. I'm familiar with Bark at the Moon, and can't remember the name of the other one. That was the one that came out when I was in high school. Something to do with rain. I think it was the album that he made sober, or the first album he made sober, and I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, I'm not familiar with all of his solo stuff. I know the songs that are big in those few albums, and really it's kind of the same thing. Like a lot of those albums I didn't see in the stores, and I just haven't really gotten around to buying all of them yet. But it's on my my list of things. But yeah, Ozzy. I just like really started getting into all of. Well, I mean, like, so I've always liked Black Sabbath, but I guess within the last few years when I got all the Ozzy era albums, and then I started getting into all the other stuff, my Black Sabbath fandom and Ozzy fandom and stuff has really increased recently, within the past like 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I watched the concert when he did they did the reunion concert. I didn't like pay for it, but I watched it when it came out on YouTube the next day. And yeah, I mean, I thought that Ozzy sounded pretty good, given everything, and I thought the band sounded good, and that was really great to see. So then I was at work when I got the text that he had died, and that that surprised me a lot more, really, and it was pretty sad, but my immediate reaction was to put on Never Say Die and listen to that, and so yeah, that one I guess was pretty surprising too, pretty upsetting. Sorry, I'm like it's hard. It's really kind of hard to think of things to say for some of this because it's just like it just sucks, really, And then last was probably the hardest. Ace. So Kiss is a band for me that's they're definitely one of my favorite bands. They're definitely one of my most listened to bands. I haven't really talked about them yet on here, but when I got into them, it was kind of the same thing with Black Sabbath. Like I got a greatest hits CD, and I didn't really see a lot of their albums around stores for a long time. I don't think it was until like 2009 when they put out Sonic Boom that I started finding their actual studio albums in stores. Before that, like I'd go into the stores around here and I'd go to the Kiss section and it would just be greatest hits. There wouldn't be any of the other studio albums. So I really like what I listened to of Kiss a lot in high school, and I would say they were one of my favorite bands even then. But I wasn't listening to the studio albums. I was watching the Kissologies. My brother had the first one. I got the second one. Actually, I got the third one as a graduation present. So yeah, I watched the Kissologies all the time, and Ace was always my favorite member. I mean, still is. I got his solo album. The '78 solo album was the second album with anything Kiss related that I ever got. For some reason I was able to find that one in the Best Buy nearby me, and always loved that album. I got into his solo career. I have all his solo albums. I've reviewed those actually, and I'm glad I did that before this. But yeah, I was at work when I got the text about him, and kind of first it was the thing about the life support, and then a few minutes later the text that he died, and that was probably the hardest of the three for me, because just I don't know. I just that. I mean, there were rumors and stuff that there was something going on with him, but I just said it was the most unexpected of the three for me, and I don't know. I think I've just been a fan of Ace kind of the longest, and probably like the biggest fan of him. Well, I guess maybe not like the biggest fan of him of the three, but he was just the one that was kind of around the most. Like when I don't know, like when me and my brother were growing up as kids and playing like the PlayStation football games and stuff, and we would create players, and both of us would kind of like we would make our favorite like musicians as the players and stuff, and I always had an Ace on my team and things like that. So yeah, just a hard year for stuff like that, and just really really sucks. I think like I was gonna review the Kiss albums pretty soon on here. I might push it back a little bit because they're the one where like I've had a little bit of trouble going back and wanting to listen to their stuff right now, and it's not really. It's just that like I know it's gonna make me sad. I kind of teared up a little bit over Strange Ways the other night, which is not something I ever thought I would say. But yeah, I just haven't like felt like going in and really listening to that stuff and getting sad about it yet. But my brother and I were hanging out like the night after everything, and I had my iPod on. It was just kind of on shuffle, playing random stuff, and Insane came on, and then Genghis Khan like pretty soon after it, and just with some of the lyrics in those songs just kind of like fit the situation, and like I was kind of sitting there like just listening to them, like I kind of feel like laughing and crying at the same time. So yeah, just a rough year for stuff like this, and I thought I would do this video today. My review of American Prayer is probably going to come tomorrow. I'm actually not sure if I'm going to have time to upload this right now. I got called into work early today, so I got to leave pretty much as soon as I film this. So yeah, just been a rough year for stuff like that, and I just thought that I should kind of acknowledge it in some way. So